In the year 1739, a war like no other erupted between two mighty nations, Britain and Spain. It all began with an incident involving a man named Robert Jenkins and his severed ear. This odd event ultimately led to a conflict known as the War of Jenkins Ear. Let's delve into the intriguing story behind this unusual war. Robert Jenkins, a British merchant captain, found himself in a perilous situation during one of his voyages to the West Indies. In 1731, his ship was intercepted by a group of Spanish coast guards near the coast of Florida. Suspecting Jenkins of smuggling, the Spanish officers boarded his vessel and interrogated him. During the confrontation, Jenkins was subjected to a brutal act of violence. One of the Spanish officers seized him by the ear, and, infuriated by Jenkins' refusal to cooperate, cut it off and tauntingly exclaimed, "Go, tell your king that I will do the same if he dares to come here." Jenkins, now bearing a painful physical reminder of his encounter, returned to Britain and made an extraordinary decision. In 1738, he appeared before the British Parliament, presenting his severed ear as evidence of Spanish aggression. His intention was to gain support for retaliatory action against Spain. The parliamentarians were deeply moved by Jenkins' gruesome display, which further fueled their anti-Spanish sentiments. Fueled by public outrage, the British government saw an opportunity to assert its dominance and expand its colonial presence. In 1739, Britain declared war on Spain, sanctioning a military campaign that would later be known as the War of Jenkins Ear. The conflict was primarily fought in the Caribbean and South America, with both sides engaging in naval battles, sieges, and ground assaults. Throughout the war, the British aimed to cripple Spanish trade and weaken their colonial holdings. However, despite initial enthusiasm, the war yielded mixed results. The British suffered several naval losses, and their land campaigns proved challenging due to harsh terrains and Spanish resistance. Likewise, Spain faced difficulties in defending its territories against the formidable British forces. As the conflict intensified, other European powers took advantage of the situation. France, being a traditional Spanish ally, saw an opportunity to engage Britain in a larger war and sided with Spain. The war between Britain and Spain then merged with the broader conflict known as the War of the Austrian Succession. This expanded the scale and complexity of the fighting, drawing in additional nations and further stretching resources. After nearly a decade of fighting, both Britain and Spain grew weary of the costly and protracted war. Peace negotiations began in 1748, culminating in the signing of the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. The treaty marked the end of the War of Jenkins Ear and restored territorial boundaries to their pre-war state. Despite the initial cause of the war being Jenkins' severed ear, the conflict had become entangled with broader political and colonial ambitions. In the annals of history, the War of Jenkins Ear stands out as a unique and often comical conflict. It is a reminder of how seemingly trivial incidents can escalate into full-scale wars. From a severed ear to international battles, the war serves as a testament to the intricate connections between personal grievances, national aspirations, and political power.